Hi, this is Tish Aitken, and I'm here to discuss the week ahead. It is April 13th, 2020, and it is a really fiery week. So just to be prepared that tempers will soar, and they already have in the last couple of days. To begin with, Mercury, which is the planet of communication and our outlook and perspective on things, has just entered the cardinal fire sign of Aries, and we're already in Aries season. And, the fact is, that Mercury was in the mutable water sign of Pisces, where it's in its detriment. It's in a very challenged place since February 2nd, and it then retrograded from February 16th until March 9th. So that is feeling lost at sea. And the contrast is that now there will be a lot more clarity, especially with Aries season when the sun is exalted, and there's a lot more initiation and new beginnings, and also brings more light to things. But having Mercury in Pisces was definitely tough and fear filled and also confusing. And so now Mercury has entered Aries, and today we have the Sun in Aries conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord, and that is also very turbulent energy and can cause a lot of strife. And we're building up to a very big aspect tomorrow. The Sun in Aries is going to clash with Pluto in Capricorn at 7:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's a cycle that can induce major power struggles, major endings, and it can be very, very blown up and is very intense. Pluto rules the sign of Scorpio, and that is incredibly intense energy. So to realize that we'll see that play out on the world stage with a lot of major power struggles and perhaps endings, as well as in our own lives. And I think the use of this energy as best as you can is to try to channel it in ways of working out or doing something you enjoy or taking a time out, because it is very combustible energy. I definitely feel it. I just got in a big fight with somebody. So it definitely can happen. But I think also to recognize that we're all feeling really stressed out, and there's a lot going on, and we've had a very volatile full moon last week as well. So it is what it is, and we got to deal with it and keep our sanity, and it's not easy, and tomorrow also, well, the moon is in Capricorn currently too, which is good for getting work done, and all of this cardinal energy is very good for getting work done. But whenever the moon is in a cardinal sign, and the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, that sets off the stellium in Capricorn, that historical lineup that set the tone for the year. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction at the world axis, which also commenced the year and set the tone for all of us collectively and individually, of permanent change, endings of structures and ways of doing things, and segueing and transitioning is something new, but with a lot of loss and a lot of challenge and restraint. It's difficult, very, very difficult. And then on the moon will go void tomorrow at 7:47 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with a conjunction to Jupiter in Capricorn. And Jupiter is in its fall in Capricorn. And generally, the moon conjunct Jupiter is a lovely conjunction. It's a benefic, so it's a positive energy. But this expands and accelerates all of this Capricorn story, which again is really about collapsing of old structures and renovation and repair, and is heavy karma. It's a very difficult time. But so we're dealing with that tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, the sun in Aries actually squares Jupiter in Capricorn, again intensifying and expanding the story. The moon enters the sign of Aquarius 3:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Wednesday. And the moon in Aquarius is good for, being perhaps a little more objective. It intellectualizes things emotionally rather than is, sensitive. It's more about, thinking of it in a logical way, perhaps a disconnected way. But maybe with all of this volatility and fiery energy, we should think of it in a more objective tone. So the first part of this week is definitely pretty tough. And even the moon in Aquarius can be a bit, Aquarius is a sign, it's the rebel of the zodiac, so it can be a little bit, rebellious. And so I think as we get further into the week, The moon will be in Aquarius until Friday, and it then enters Pisces at 2:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I think over the weekend, it's more inducive for resting and perhaps processing all of this crazy rapid beginning of the week, because again, it's going to be very fiery and is, and so over the weekend we've got the moon in Pisces, which is more about relaxing and maybe listening to music, doing something creative, doing something spiritual, meditating, doing something to restore, and the sun enters the sign of Taurus rather on April 19th over the weekend, and Venus is the ruler of the sign of Taurus, and the sun will be in Taurus from April 19th until May 20th, and that will change the tone a little bit too. It's not a cardinal sign, so it's not setting off all this Capricorn. And over the weekend, Mercury in Aries will form an aspect of opportunity to both Venus and Mars. And so that also is very creative. It's good for coming up with good ideas, especially with the moon in Pisces. It can be very imaginative. Neptune rules the sign of Pisces, is in the higher octave of Venus. So that can definitely be very creative energy accessible to us over the weekend. But again, bear in mind that this week is going to be very hostile, and all of us will feel it, and to try to slow down as much as you can, try to get a lot of work done, because Mercury in Aries is really very pioneering, and it is good for starting things and getting things going. Cardinal signs are excellent at really launching things, but lay low. And I wish I'd followed my own advice about an hour ago, but it doesn't always happen. So I wish you luck and take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.